Good morning, everybody. I'm Bill Feehley. Welcome to another edition of MSATP TV. Joining us this morning is Jonathan Pocius with Payroll Services, LLC. And Jonathan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your company and what you can do for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Bill said, my name is Jonathan. I am the president of Payroll Services, LLC. We are located in Frederick, Maryland. We've been one of the sponsors of MSA and helping them out for, almost a decade now, Bill. I think it's coming up there. It's either 8 or 9 years at this point. So we've been here for quite some time, and we are a full service workforce management provider. So that means that we help with everything from payroll, HR, time and attendance, employee benefits, and more. We really try to focus on the employee life cycle and help employers manage that life cycle from hiring to the separation phase and everything in between it.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the ERC program and whether that's still a viable thing for small businesses today?
Sure. Yeah, the employee retention credit is definitely a viable option still for businesses today. As accountants and CPAs, you're talking to them, and believe it or not, there's still a ton of businesses that don't know anything about it. And as the ERC gives the employer a credit. There's two different rules, one for 2020, one for 2021. But essentially, the crux of the rule is if there was some type of partial or full suspension due to a governmental order, for example, a restaurant couldn't use its fullest capacity, or there was a revenue decline. And again, the rules are different between 2020 and 21, but it's either a 50% decline or 20% decline in revenue. Then you can get a credit for the wages that you pay for your employees. So it's a huge option right now that's out there. We do things a little different than most payroll providers, where we help our customers receive the credit live rather than after the fact. So what we do is we actually manage the ERC on every payroll for our customers, and we're actively offsetting the federal tax liabilities with these credits rather than waiting to the end of the quarter and then filing it at that point. So our ideology is we want to get as much money in our clients' pockets as quickly as possible, and we're one of the few companies that actually do that. A lot of times now we're seeing other payroll providers or accountants and CPAs going back and amending the 941s. Now for 2020, obviously you have to do that, but to amend it, you're really looking at almost a 200-day wait before that client even gets that check. The IRS is just so backlogged, as you know. It's taken a really long time. So doing these credits on a live basis really gets money into the client's hands immediately. And then when we go ahead, since we're doing it live, we actually file the balance of the credit on the 941, and our customers are getting these credits within 4 to 5 weeks after we file the 941s, in addition to already receiving credits throughout the quarter from tax deductions on the payroll.
Now, is it too late to go back to amend last year's 941s?
No. So typically with 941s, you have about a 3-year time frame to be able to edit 941s and to do the amended returns. So we're still doing it right now. We're also, it's a very interesting thing, is we actually help other independent payroll providers do these calculations for 2020, and that people are doing it after the fact. So we have a ton of work piled up for us of just doing back calculations and producing all the analysis for them, where we balance the PPP and the ERC and everything.
Okay. And my understanding is that Payroll Services just started the new HR program. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm super excited to do this because what we started is what was called HR Direct. HR Direct is actually a more hands-on HR solution for small businesses, and it's really geared for the under 50 employee market. What we found is you really only had a couple options out there for small businesses. One was more of a do-it-yourself HR, where you had to kind of Google things and kind of figure it out. And there's other products that give you, resources and stuff like that. But what we've done is we've actually taken a hands-on approach where we're almost like a fractional HR service for these small businesses. So we actually go through and do live employee handbook reviews. We do policy reviews. We do employee incident tracking. We manage the onboarding for them. And this is actually on a hands-on basis. It's not just a tech background. So we talk to employees for them. Just the other day, we had a client call us and we were doing a complete overhaul of the remote work policy and their PTO policies. So we're really getting hands-on and helping employers, especially the small business employers, with those day-to-day HR things that pop up. And we priced it really, really competitively. For 1 to 5 employees, it's $100 a month. You're not going to find a fractional HR service out there that's going to do what we do for that price. And again, it was really defined for the small business for under 50 employees, where the employer can call us or they can send the employee to us, and then we can help them out with whatever the issue is, whether it's benefit enrollment, whether it's onboarding, whether it's HR policies or incidents that are going on in the workplace that they need help on how to figure out how to handle.
Okay. Well, is there anything else any other products and services that our members can look out for their clients to make sure that everything's being covered?
Well, yeah, absolutely. In addition to like all the standard payroll, timekeeping, and the standard workforce management services you would expect us to provide, we've also started opening up to actually quite a bit of accountants where we're actually helping them process their payroll. So we are the entire back office now. And this actually was a really big boom last year for us. We added probably I would say about 14 different accountants that we are actually what we call satellite offices now, where they handle just the front end of their client management, and then we handle everything in the back. And the reason why it's such a hit right now, and it's going to be, is the softwares that accountants typically use, whether you're using Thomson Reuters, whether you're using QuickBooks to process payroll, or whatever the case is, they're not set up, and they never were intended to deal with this level of complications inside the tax law, like the COVID sick credits, the deferral of the Social Security, the employee retention credits. And unfortunately, we don't see that compliance easing up, especially since Congress figured out that payroll providers can start processing all of these credits. So we only expect to see the payroll regulation and compliance get more complicated. So that is one of the things that we are helping actively with accountants that are processing payroll, where we handle the back office form, direct deposits, tax filings, you name it, software management, and then all they do is handle the front end. And that's been a really big thing for us since around June of last year.
Okay. If you were looking for the ideal customer that one of our accountants could pass along to you, what would that be?
So our ideal customer is somebody that is not just looking for payroll. If you're looking for payroll, there's a ton of other different solutions that you could go out there and get it dirt cheap if they're going to process it themselves. What we're looking for is the customer that actually wants to make sure that their workforce is managed correctly, that they're actually in compliance, and they actually want somebody to be able to call and bounce ideas off of to improve their business. We really want somebody that's more focused on their business rather than just trying to check a box to pay people. That's what we would say is our ideal customer.
Okay. Is there anything else that you can suggest to our members that would help them?
Yeah, no, just I feel for the accounting industry right now with all the different changes, and then the re-changes, and then the last minute changes that happen right now. So if there's anything that we can do, if you have questions about the employee retention credit, we've done a ton of webinars. I talk to accountants almost, well, it was daily, now it's like weekly. But if you have questions about the employee retention credit, PPP, forgiveness, or whatever, feel free to call us. We're a resource for MSA.
Well, thank you very much. And it was a pleasure talking with you today. And if somebody wants to reach out, you want to give them your contact information here?
Sure. Our office number is 240-699-0060, or you can email me at JONP as in Paul at payrollservicesllc.com.
All right. Well, thank you very much, John.
Thanks, Bill.
I appreciate having you on here today. And thank you for being a corporate sponsor.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bill.
All right. You take care. Bye.